Okay, well, that took a long time to get back. My camera kept on, even though I selected external camera, it kept on showing me the internal one, which I did not want. We are back, sorry. My camera kept on, when I started the stream, even though I had selected external cam, it kept on showing up with the cam on the computer looking at me straight in the face. So I had to close out Chrome and restart it. So you can see the clear feed on this pen, which I always find disconcerting. It's like those models of the Invisible Man, the Visible Man, I think they called it, where it showed all of the organs. Well, not all of them. They had the Ken doll bulge. Did they have the testes? I don't know if they did. But it had the intestine and the lungs and the heart, the muscles. Well, I guess you could. Come on, ink. I would have thought the bubble would be, or the breather hole would be solid red. Is this running out of ink as well? Let's see. I think I was running out of ink. I was on fumes. Yeah, don't you think that would be fun? So we have, I could be on one side. Effects can be over here. And we're writing and talking back and forth, and you could be, your hand could be here, and you could be making a happy face that we said something that was funny, and surprising face when we say something that's shocking, an angry face. Wouldn't that be fun? And you don't have to say a word. Or you could say in Italian what you mean by this face. Sono qua. Sono the right word? I'm confused. I'm happy. I'm unhappy. I'm really pissed off. See? You could have all sorts of fun. And you wouldn't have to say a word. you're buffering? You might be. See, now you don't see the see-through. You see the ink flow is flowing. So a guy that I follow who does live video, YouTube videos as well, he's a geologist from the upper west coast of the United States. And he asks his viewers that number into the hundreds whether his video is working and the sound is working. And he says, are we 5 by 5? 5 by 5. So what does that mean? We got you 5 by 5. What does that mean? What does it mean? Am I 5 by 5? Oh, is it? So it means you're coming in loud and clear. I typed it in my computer, my brain, my external brain, and went on Google and 5 by 5, and I couldn't come up with anything. Maybe I misspelled it and I said 5 by 4. And no results are shown for 5 by 4. Did you mean 5 by 5? 2 by 4? Did you mean 2 by 4? Oh, good. Well, he sometimes has buffering issues with some people, but anyway, I like him a lot. His name is Nick Zentner, and he does these live broadcasts during COVID from his backyard, and he's a lot of fun. He has a cat that shows up from time to time, Bijou the cat, and he has Muffler Boy, which is the guy that drives his car. I learned that Muffler Boy can be any number of people who have loud cars. He refers to as Muffler Boy. So he's fun. I like his shtick. But my favorite part is his, he goes to the Cozy Fort, which is the way he shows on live broadcasts. He doesn't edit. He's like me. He doesn't edit anything out. Everything, you get it with all of the lumps and the guts. But he often has things on his laptop, films that he's trying to show that people have put up online about geologic things. And so for him to not splice this in later in some sort of complicated studio thing, he just shows you the screen, holds the laptop screen up to his iPhone camera and takes a picture. I mean, and just shows the screen. But in order not to get the glare from the sun and the trees and the shadow of the cat and all the other stuff, he builds for himself what he refers to as the Cozy Fort. So this is what he does. It's really cute. He has a ladder in his backyard that he is C-clamps or something these rods to, and then over which he drapes a quilt that completely covers, and then he crawls in, holds up his laptop, and here's his iPhone camera that's connected to the ladder somehow. So he's able to, so on the screen that I'm watching him on YouTube, you see generally the laptop in the dark showing what it's showing, and then in the background you see Nick's silhouette of his head and his ear and his light glimmering off the glasses, and then you see the pattern of the quilt behind him, generally all kind of dark. But it's really fun. His stuff is fun. So I made him a YouTube video that he could run at the beginning of each Cozy Fort thing, and he did it for a couple of times, and then he's not doing it now. But it was the 20th Century Fox logo with the 21st century in perspective with the lights coming up, and I made it the Cozy Fort. And I had the lights, and they moved. The lights moved back and forth, and my voice went. And I don't know if I included the dun 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 dun. So it took a little bit too long. I said you can crop it to be just the first part without the other part. Yeah, I mean that's how he built it as a kid when he was. They used cushions from the couches to make a fort, and his father in Wisconsin, he's from Wisconsin, his father would refer to that as the Cozy Fort. So he uses that term to this day. So what was I going to show you? It was this really fun 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Fox theme. And someone had done it on using a really bad flutophone or something. And it was so cute. Here's one played on a $1 piano.
Let's see what's inside.
Okay, after the ad.
AC adapter. The keyboard.
Are we done? No. Thank you. How's that? There was one though that was done on a really badly on a flutophone or something, and I thought that had charm. Other people did it on their ukulele, and it was really, really cute. Let's see if I can find the one that I did for Nick on my phone. It should be in my sent mail. Sent Nick Zentner. Any more lecture topic? Carter's movie, Crater's movie. Here you go. This was a video I made for him for Craters of the Moon. Overnight? Overweight? Undernourished? Kind of stupid? So here was the... You don't need actual space stuff to go to the moon, Craters of the Moon, because it's a park in some place. So I made this little intro for him. Crazy Cozy Fort. Cozy Fort. lead in. Just a minute. Let me see if I have it on my computer. What did I use to make the videos? I used my Apple iPad for the most part, where you could see some of the animations were done by showing how I draw the thing, and the other ones were made sort of in an animation app on what do you call it, in Photoshop, where I have frames that I somehow make happen. So let me just see if I can find Cozy Fort here. Cozy Fort. Show all in folder. Well, that's not it. Nothing there. Cozy. Banner. Smith Cozy. Oh, damn it. Nicola Mark Stern EM Cozy Fort. What would I have called it? Nothing under that. Smith Cozy. Stipple setup. Huh. Nick. No. Why aren't you working, Nick? Talk amongst yourselves. You know, if I only could learn how to actually save files and name them so I know where to find them, that would be great. So let me do something. Since you're here, you two talk amongst yourself right now. I'll be right back. See if I can find them. How do I cancel? Not now. Cancel videos. Okay, here's the Cozy Fort video. I made that for Nicola. Nick, not Nicola. Nick made that for Nick. I also made this one, which he was talking about giving a lecture about the Yellowstone mega quake caldera explosion that was going to kill everyone. So I came up with a video that described it, and it doesn't have, there's no sound to this one of any sort. So vibration's sake, special report. So here's Nick and that's the muffler boy going by, and he's giving him the finger. So that's how that one ended. Though I think actually, no, I did end up with, I had to add to that this other thing about live newscast. So it takes a while. Here's another one that I did that was fun. This is about, he was doing a talk about poles flipping, where the North Pole, what do you call it? Where the polar magnetism things shift, which happens every 300,000 years or so. So he was doing a talk on that. So here's my thing I did for him. So elves on strike. So here's, oh, is this ending? Is there more? Poles flip. Where did the rest of it go? Maybe where's the long version of this? I think I created the long version of this. Oh no. Earthquakes. Oh, these are other things. Pocket gophers, aliens. This is another thing that I did for him. They're called yucca mounds, yama mounds, yima mounds. Some sort of, what the fuck? Sorry, Pat. Sorry. Oh, meant to be Patrick. There's this kid that watches him all the time. So anytime Nick says something, a bad word, he always says, "Sorry, Patrick." So did aliens cause these things? These are weird lumps in parts of the world, Mima mounds. So next time on, so that was a little teaser, Mima mounds. So the app I use to do a lot of the drawings I do is called, what's it called? It's called Sketch Club. And I'm able to draw and record the drawing I do, but it also allows me to do some fun things like, here was shooting all sorts of arrows into St. Sebastian, and here's a Gainsborough painting that I sort of just drew over and recorded the drawing as I was doing it. And this one sort of has a Monty Python-esque look to it. Yeah, Sketch Club is the same thing as that. So if some of the things that I've done in Sketch Club are almost like little animations that have start and a finish and a middle somewhere in a plot. And I can do that by maybe having some of the drawings drawn. Let me see if I can find one. And I just go from one layer to another layer, but that's not as easy as. So here was the one I did for Nick, and there's lots of layers, so I can just change the layers to change the background. But it's very painstaking, but I like it. I hate the animation studio apps because they're too awful. They don't work well. So the Cozy Fort, here's the Cozy Fort, and I have many, many different layers. So each layer I would add different beams of light on. And then I can record the drawing in a way that allows me to make something that looks like an animation. So it's fun. Most of the artwork I do, whether it's for me or for you or for clients, I really like to have fun. And if I end up spending way too much time perfecting something, it never ends because I can never make it exactly the way I want it to look. And then I never finish it. Okay, let's see if I can fix the trauma that I just caused here. So what I end up doing is create things like this where I don't edit out the burps and the explosive diarrhea. You get to see that as well, whether you like it or not. And I think some of you people like it when I deal with my explosive diarrhea. Well, I think I better have breakfast, and I'm going to see if I can get some of these things in the mail. Effects&All, I'm going to send you an email shortly and telling you how you can PayPal me, and you can email me your street address if you haven't done it already. And I'll try to do that with Ms. Marilyn and with Brussels and with Canada. But I've got one other. I've got like 5 people to send things to, and it would be nice if I could have all of them ready to go in one, so I only have to go to the post office once. So that may not be till tomorrow at this point. I think I'm going to leave Peter Draws out of the equation because I really haven't. I want to talk to Peter Draws in person, either on the phone or face-to-face on Skype or something, so I can show him a bunch of pens. I want to show him a 51, but he may not even want to even begin to see a 51 because it doesn't have a flexible nib. So I want to have him help me select the pens that I'm going to send him to try out. So, but I also, I mean, part of, you know, when I'm in line at the post office and I see someone in front of me with 18 packages, I want to shoot them. So there's something about just having 2 or 3 at a time. I think of it's not just about me. It's not all about me. I do think about my neighbors. I do pay attention to the people in front of me at the checkout counter. There's a man, and here we are at Target, and here's his cart. And I'm standing 6 feet behind him with my little shopping basket full of peanut butter and jelly and bread. And he's in front of me, and here's the cashier, and he has like 800 rolls of toilet paper. I think, are you taking Effextinol? Do you have back pain? Like, why does I have instant visualization when I see a shopping cart full of toilet paper? I can't help it. I imagine this person naked, sitting on the toilet, and it's not a pretty sight. So the same guy that had all this toilet paper also had like 10-gallon jugs of Clorox bleach or something. And I said, are you trying to clean up from the mass murders you had in your house or what? And he laughed and he said, no, I'm buying things he works at a hotel and he's buying for the entire hotel staff. I would think that they would have an account that would get a better deal than going to Target. Well, the toilet paper was, the Target store that I go to, even before the pandemic, it took me a long time to find the toilet paper thing that only had, 4 rolls in it, because they want to sell you the one that has 12. They want to sell the one that has like 36 rolls, because that's all they seem to have. But there was one little aisle that had, a box of 12 napkins only, because that's all you wanted for your party. Yeah. Well, very good. Well, this was fun. So, Effextinol, you make your tripod and and then I'll see who else might be willing to be on this thing with us. I'll maybe send an email to Canada and to Brussels, and maybe we can see how it works. And maybe for a topic, we can just, pick 3 pens that you really like from your collection, 3 that are completely different from each other in terms of how you use them. Not so much what they look like, because that I imagine would be part of what the uses you have for them are. But there might be a certain pen you use when you're making your grocery lists, and another one when you're making your when you're writing a letter, when you're doing the crossword or whatever. But pick 3 pens from your collection that you use in 3 different ways. And I'll do the same with me, and I'll there might be an app where I can do that, Osni. I know there's probably ways where I can print up labels. I know that people that sell things on eBay, they do that, and it's all mechanized, and they know immediately how much it's going to cost. I just don't want to have another app where I'm connected to my credit card and my bank. I'm trying to get rid of my one bank and go to another bank, and it's been a long process. So but there probably is a way to do some of what you're saying, and I will look into that. So Osni, or Melo, would you like to be part of this thing with your emoticon translations? I think that would be fun. So Effextinol and I and Osni in the middle. Please say yes. And you could have the 3 pens that you like for 3 different purposes. And you could just, you don't have to talk, you could just write. This is for drawing. You could type in Italian. Disegno. This is for writing letters, whatever that is. For writing carte postale. Iscriva carte postale. I know that's what you said. You can do 2 things at once, Nello. No, you can watch, you can watch. You can, in the text part, if we have 3 people doing this, and you can type in your emoticons and they'll appear. So I'll see if Brussels wants to do it, or Canada. I'll send you a letter, email describing it. Shall we make it 3 o'clock today? You're not so smart. You're very smart. Effextinol is 3 o'clock Eastern. Good. Osni, I'm going to give you a hug, whether you like it or not. I can only do 1 things at a time. No, you can only do 1 thing at a time. Not things. I know our plurals are fucked up. Okay, 3 o'clock. So that's 2 o'clock your time. You're in the Midwest, is that right? Well, what time would you like to try this? Ohio. You're Eastern time. Yeah. Well, what time would you like to do it? I'm free as a bird. I can do it anytime. It might just be the 2 of us, but that works. Or I could team up on you. I could be Mini Me and Maxi Me and you. Four to 5. Well, let's make it 4. Let's start it at 4. Let's make it 4 o'clock today. So I'm going to set my little alarm to 3:30. How do I do that on my device? Where's the clock? There's the clock. Alarm. Alarm. Okay, make a new one. We're going to make it be 3:30 p.m. Save. Good. It will go on at 3:30. It will get me up from my nap or wherever I am, and I'll select the 3 pens that I use for 3 different purposes. And then I will look forward to seeing your 3 pens for your 3 purposes. And I'll see if I can get Canada, or maybe Marilyn would like to do it instead. But I'll send it off to a few people whose emails I have. And again, when you get the email, you just have to, when you go to that site, you pick a name and you have to scroll down to see where it says enter or start or whatever you have to do, save the changes. So, okay, well, thank you. Okay, well, I look forward to this, and we will talk soon. So, you should be able to click the link. You'll be brought to the website. Then you type in what you want your name to be, and then you click OK or whatever, and then it'll say you're in the backstage or something, and then I'll see that you're there, and then I'll invite you in. So it is pretty easy, and I just have to remember to unmute your mic and things like that, because that was what Russell and Sally and I were having trouble with. They were talking and I was talking, but they couldn't see what I was saying. They couldn't hear what I was saying. So I wrote a piece of paper, unmute me, and I held it up in front of the camera so Patrick could see, Russell could see. So anyway, it's pretty simple. Okay, see you later. I'm going to have my breakfast now and start doing some work if I can. How do I turn this thing off? End stream. Bye-bye. Ciao bello. Ciao Nello bello. Ciao bello Nello. Ciao Nello. Ciao bello Nello. Ciao ciao. Are you there, Nello? To listen to my little joke? You're supposed to put up the blushing emoticon. Ciao Nello bello. Bello Nello. Oh, now you're crying. Okay, I don't want you to cry. Okay, arrivederci, tutti. Tutti onori. Goodbye, all you judges.